Wait, are we recording yet?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Virtual Trek Cons, the main viewer. It is Tuesday night. You know what that means. For some of you, it's early Friday morning. Thank you for staying up. For some of you, it's Tuesday morning. Thank you for hanging out with us. There's so much to talk about. There's the big USA versus Iran World Cup game. There's the big Wales versus England World Cup game. We're going to talk about who's advancing to the knockout round. Look at how unamused Anne-Marie is. She's so disgusted right now. No, this is a Star Trek show. We're going to talk about the Star Trek news of the week. And there's so much to discuss. Look, it's an anniversary today. It's the anniversary of Star Trek First Contact, not the Next Generation episode, but the actual movie.
Today.
We have some first looks at the next episode of Star Trek Prodigy. There's also some Riker news. Jonathan Frakes reached out to J.J. Abrams about directing Star Trek 4. Dude, you guys, there's no way we're going to cover all this. Star Trek Picard Season 3 is much more than a Next Generation reunion. We're hearing rumors of, obviously, there's going to be a little bit of Voyager in there, maybe more, but they're mentioning Deep Space Nine. What does that mean? What? We've got to talk about. We got to figure this out. So put on your detective's hats, everybody, or your Geordi visor and his robot eyes.
It's robot eyes.
Here's something interesting. Slash Film says Deep Space Nine's Quark is the greatest Star Trek character, not the greatest Deep Space Nine character, the greatest Star Trek character ever. There's so much to talk about, you guys. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Ooh, there's more stuff. All right. Anyway, Melissa Longo is here. She's wearing a Seventh Rule shirt.
Woohoo! Because the Indiegogo is in demand. Is this the last day or tomorrow?
Tomorrow. So there are about 24 to 30 hours left. There's one full day left.
So there's a whole full day left for your holiday shopping. So on Indiegogo. Go check it out.
Yep. Indiegogo, go check it out. Right, Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel is also here.
Yes. And also I'm just gonna highlight one of the amazing holiday gifts that could be for a TNG or Deep Space Nine fan, which is $60 for the low price of $60. They can get a round table that's $60 to $95. Also comes with, I think, the full year subscription, like to Patreon or like to update messages. But that's like a one-time round table that's just amazing with Tasha Yar and Jake Sisko.
And how fun are the round tables? Awesome.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
1,000,000.
Deep Space 10.
Yes.
Dr. Muhammad Noor is here, who just accepted a job, but we're not going to say what it was.
Hello, always a pleasure to be here on the main viewer.
I'm wearing a Star Trek shirt.
Oh.
You are.
It's hard to tell, though.
Close.
It's like a super covert one because I'm
hidden
hiding
behind your mic.
Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I have that same shirt too. It's really nice.
Yeah,
It's
I think this was
awesome.
from the 2009 JJ movie, right?
It was. That's how I got it from.
Wow.
Hey.
So, should we do a poll as to where? Oh, my name is Ryan T. Husk, everybody, and I have quite a few Star Trek shirts and Golden State Warriors shirts and band shirts and other sporting
and
stuff.
He-Man.
Not a bunch, but I'm working on it.
You have a lot of uniforms. I don't know if I've seen you in uniform before.
What about Fisto? One of my favorite He-Man characters.
Well, there's also everybody at home knows there's a Star Wars character named Kit Fisto.
What?
Kit Fisto.
Does KIT stand for Night Industries 2000?
Very good.
Knight Rider.
That is very good. But what was the question?
I wanted that car.
I don't remember
What does KIT stand for?
No. Yeah, but that's Michael Knight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see who is joining us today in the live chat. We've got Walter, hello, Chuck A, Fran Iverson, Dave Gregory, Scott Jensen the 13th, Linda Anderegg, Rob Marr is here. Engineering Software is here. Well, hello,
Engineering Software is
ZZTH.
actually, I was going to say
We
that's
know
me.
you. War Dog Heim from the blue skies of Montana. It's good to see all of you. BL, welcome back. Wayner, welcome back. Matt Boardman, hello. Hello, all of you. Becca.
Hi, Becca.
Wait, is that your sister, Anne-Marie?
That's my brother's girlfriend. My sister's
Sister-in-law, then.
Rebecca.
Almost.
Sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Wait, so you do have a sister named Rebecca, right?
Yes.
That's
Rebecca's everywhere.
a lot of Beccas.
Yeah. All
What?
amazing.
Okay, please tell me that your
Their middle
brother's
names are
name
the same.
is David.
Why?
Well, David Becca, like the
Beckham.
soccer player almost.
Beckham.
David
It's not,
Beckham.
though.
One of my brother's middle names is David, but no.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Bring it back to sports for
Yeah.
us. Soccer.
Mary Ann
You know what,
Siegel
there's-
is there. Speaking
there
of
should
Hi,
moms.
be
Mom.
Hey, there should be a Twitter hashtag that's trending that says it's called soccer now. Ever since USA won, I think that would be great. Anyway, Mohammed, where do you think we should
also,
start?
wait, I hope Jocko Rex, I hope your ankle's feeling better. So
Yeah.
it was sprained on 42nd
Hey, Marina.
Street. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like the worst possible place to sprain your ankle.
What,
Okay.
on the lower part of the
On
ankle?
42nd Street. It's
Oh.
crazy circus of a place.
What's she doing in New York?
What? Marina's always in New York. She works in New York.
Oh, really? I know she lives in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. We're
But-
lucky
Same.
enough to claim her during the day.
All the same.
Yeah, but she lives in Morristown, New Jersey. That's like
Yeah.
quite a hike from New York City. It's not that close. That's a long commute.
I mean,
Well,
George Washington
it's
did it.
relative because
Isn't it like an hour or more?
I'm not sure if there's an express train.
Sorry,
Oh my God,
Mohammed.
this is great talk. Okay, I'm
go to
just
Google
gonna
Maps.
say, here's what I'm gonna say. Speaking of New York City, Broadway World has an awards, a cabaret awards for the whole city of New York that comes out every year, and it's People's Choice. And to probably go got nominated for the Drag Awards portion.
Hey,
for
Oh.
Heather
congratulations.
Wood, who's Janeway and Dr. Crusher impersonator. Been doing parties every Saturday for like a year and a half now at Barracuda Bar. But yes, if you can, go to BroadwayWorld.com and vote for Heather Wood to probably go, please.
What's the website again?
BroadwayWorld.com. And while you're there, there are also regional awards, and Bonnie Gordon is up for one
That's
one
awesome.
cool.
for LA, and it's People's Choice, and it's really empowering to vote. So yeah, make sure you vote.
Oh, Drew Cork says it's an hour and 45 minutes one way door to door.
Yeah, that's insane.
Ah,
Let's see. That is
but if it's
like
on
going
the
across-
train and you
oh,
get stuff done,
that's
Yep.
how like Marina knows everything going on in Star Trek all the time.
right. I
okay.
know.
So we've got
I
a
missed the
poll.
subway for that very reason.
Since we have the only reason I know that is because my brother lived in Morristown for a little bit. So that's otherwise I had no idea where it was. And when I found out Marina lived in Morristown, I was like, that's literally the only town in New Jersey I've ever seen in my life. What a coincidence. So we've got a poll, which is where are we going to start? We're going to start with First Contact and the discussion of that fun movie of Star Trek
Was it fun?
Picard and the possibility of Deep Space Nine being represented there. Prodigy episode 16 preview that's coming up in a couple days, and Quark being the best Star Trek character in the history of Star Trek characters, or the future of Star Trek characters. The history of the future, Denise Crosby reminds us.
What? Outtakes.
And while everybody's deciding on that, yes, as Melissa mentioned, the Seventh Rule has an Indiegogo campaign going on right
Mhm.
now. The campaign is over. It is now in something called In Demand, which means it's still open for another day. So, if you want to get any holiday gifts for somebody or for yourself, why not, get 1 year of the seventh rule delivered to your virtual mailbox, or join us on a round table and talk with Sirach Lofton, maybe Denise Crosby, definitely Melissa Longo, and that's worth the price of admission right there. Anne-Marie might show up if she feels like it. Same with Muhammad, but Melissa will be there with bells on, guaranteed.
If you want to go spendy but awesome, you could do a 1-year associate producer thing for the seventh rule. It's a little spendy. So, I mean, again, not everybody. It's not going to be in everybody's budget, but the reward for that, like head explode. It's so much fun. Like every single round table, every single free for all, you get so much for that. You get discounts from the store. It's amazing. So food for thought. Again, not the cheapest option, but it's amazing. If you can
It's
afford
the
it.
cheapest option for the value. Thank you, Muhammad. You should do like infomercials. You're really good at that. You got a nice voice too. He does. He's got a nice voice,
He does have a nice voice.
Used to be a DJ in college. So.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
What kind of
Beth and
music?
Mo show. Mostly independent rock.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Love and Rockets, things like that. It was fun.
Aw.
So it looks like people want to start with probably the biggest news item of the day and the week, which is Deep Space Nine being represented in Star Trek Picard. So let's get up in that like a USA goal in like USA soccer ball in the goal. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have also included Jonathan Frakes directing Star Trek 4. It's also a fun one.
That's
Okay.
like still the New York Comic Con news that he said at New York Comic Con.
What's that?
He said that at New York Comic Con, so it's kind of like recycled news.
Let me see. Yeah, I mean, this was within the week that this was discussed. Well, we'll have to look at it later. We'll
Okay.
find out. We will have to find out. So here's an article from Den of Geek here. I also feel like I saw somebody tweeting about it. Was it Terry Metalis?
Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Star Trek Picard season 3 is much more than a next generation reunion. With unabashed nostalgia and familiar Trekkie aesthetics, Star Trek Picard season 3 is the 1990s sequel series fans have been waiting for. But is this really the last ride for the TNG gang? Okay. Hang on. I want to find this tweet as well, because this is important here.
Yeah.
So first of all, how excited are you guys for Star Trek Picard, which starts in February?
Very
Excited.
Yeah, it really is like it says. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. You had a more complete thought, I think.
I'm not sure. I was going to say, I was going to basically just reiterate. I think it's just exciting to just bring back the gang together and have new plots, and we see characters who we haven't seen forever. Like what's the guy, the Sherlock Holmes guy? Moriarty. Yeah. We get Moriarty in there. We get Lore back. We get all sorts of people. It's very exciting to see all this come together. So we'll see. That'd be a good arc for those. I'm guessing it's 10. Have we heard it's 10 episodes?
So there's some really great quotes in these. Ryan Britt, he did such extensive interviews with everybody, like including cast and obviously Terry Metalis. And like one of the things he was saying, and everybody was sort of like trying to say, or like decide like how to phrase it, was like, is this one TNG movie, like final movie, or is it 10 final episodes, like 10 final movies? Like, because they each work a little bit together. And then other people were like, well, also, is it the prelude to a new movie, or could it be a like backdoor pilot? Yes, all good questions. And I'm like, famously, Jonathan Frakes at New York Comic Con and Patrick Stewart were saying like, this could be a good Star Trek 4 since there's a spot open now on the docket, and who better to direct it than Jonathan Frakes? So I think since that was said, Jonathan Frakes like reiterates that in other subsequent interviews.
Would it be
Ryan.
crazy?
Anne-Marie,
Oh,
thanks
what?
for mentioning Ryan Britt, who wrote this article because he was our guest last week. Good knowledge there. So this was Ryan Britt. You saw him talking with us last week, and now you can see him in action typing an article.
Well, and also I'll say last week was fresh off the heels of his interviews for this article.
Right.
So it's fun to
Right.
see the finished product.
That was a great
Very
episode
true.
last week.
Very true. So here is the tweet from our good pal, Terry Metalis, who has no idea who we are. So maybe he's not really a good pal,
Yes.
but he's our good pal. Yeah. He retweets Den of Geek UK, which says, exclusive Star Trek Picard season 3 is much more than just a TNG reunion. Quote, I think it's important to Deep Space Nine fans to feel seen, showrunner Terry Metalis says, and continues, it's a continuation of Voyager 2.
Okay.
And then the article is linked.
Also, it's really funny to me, like how I'm just going to add how people phrase it. So like this one said that with Deep Space Nine first. And then another article said they phrased it by saying a Voyager follow-up and some Deep Space Nine too. Like, who is this writer bias?
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, Ryan Britt did bring up Deep Space Nine in the talk last week, being a part of it.
Also, of course, it's a Voyager sequel. 7 of 9's in it. So
Right.
what's awesome news
Right.
is that it's a Deep Space Nine sequel. And then when
I'm
you
presuming
read
not
Ryan
just for
Britt's-
Worf.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. In the Den of Geek article, it's like, and not just because Worf is there.
Mhm.
Right.
You can't even wait.
That was my first, yeah, right. That was my first thought was I got excited and all this excitement rushed through my 3 veins. And then is it more than 3? There's like 1 in each hand and then 1 on your nose or something like that. I heard
Gosh.
something like that, right? Like if you put all the veins like in a line, you could be like a foot long or something, basically, right?
A foot.
Yeah.
Only a foot.
I think Dr. Anne Marie is like, yeah.
I don't even want to know where this is going.
Nowhere. That's the sad part. No, but actually it's more something
Oh.
like if you put all your veins and capillaries and all that like in a line all end to end, it'd be like take you to the moon or something. Like it's a huge amount of length there.
Same with the intestines. It's really long.
24 feet, isn't it?
It's really
Intestines,
long.
24 feet. I think
I don't
it's
remember,
16
but-
feet of small intestine and 8 feet of large intestine. Am I right, doctor? Oh, son of a.
8 feet. I honestly, I can't remember the exact. Large intestine is an 8 feet. Oh, are we Googling?
Yeah, I got to now.
Yeah.
Large intestine is just the size of like.
No, I was wrong. It's 15 or 16 feet in total, not 24.
For small.
Packed in a
or for
belly.
what?
Well, below the belly, but still, that's pretty impressive.
It's
Some
disgusting
absorption
what's in
happening
there.
there.
Very awesome. It is like the coolest thing ever.
That
Okay.
is pretty.
Well, I was
spectacular.
counting an extra 8 feet of rectum.
That's an intense rectum at 8
It's just
feet.
compacted. Anyway,
Wow. Wow.
So-
That's a lot of compacting.
Yeah.
where were we, Anne Marie? What were we talking about before?
Honestly, I don't even remember anymore. You lost me
It's,
at Vegas.
Voyager and Deep Space Nine
Oh, that had
representation.
Russia.
And
You
Oh,
got
yes.
excited.
Worf.
Your 3 veins.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Worf. Yeah, that's the first thing I think everybody thinks is, oh,
Yeah.
are we saying Worf is representing, Deep Space Nine? That's kind of like a little cheat code.
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe it might be, let's say it's O'Brien. O'Brien returns, in which case that's awesome. And we love it. And it's amazing. And that's more Next Generation and technically more Deep Space Nine, but it certainly wouldn't be a
Marina
solely
said
Deep Space
It could
Nine
be another
reference.
shot of the pylons.
oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
funny. Oh, that's funny.
I
So what do you
can't
guys
wait.
think?
I'm so excited. good.
What do you think? Is there going to be a character that's specific to Deep Space Nine that is represented or that shows up? You know, like I'm going to make a prediction, and I'm going to say that with Captain Worf, I mean, have they said he's a captain yet? Or are we just assuming that because that's what the fans have been asking for
I'm not
15
sure.
years?
I don't know. If he's a pacifist, I don't know if that goes along with the captain.
Well, Picard was arguably a pacifist, right?
Yeah. But,
Certainly a
Call himself
diplomat.
that. Yeah, more diplomat. Yeah,
Because I was starting to feel pretty confident that we'd get like a lieutenant or a commander Esri Dax, right? Like Lieutenant Commander Esri Dax, like maybe it's. But now you're right, Melissa. If he's talking about being a pacifist, maybe he's just like a Shaolin monk, you know, and he's just out.
Well, and there's that one episode on Deep Space Nine during his trial of shooting up the Klingon convoy ship.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was suggested that that was no longer attainable, the captain's chair, because it was a mark on his record. But I guess they could have cleared that up. I don't know.
Well, he went off to be what was this? What was his title going to be for Kronos? Was he ambassador for Kronos? I can't remember.
I think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
So what do you guys think? Do you think there's going to be an actual character from Deep Space Nine, like Esri or Bashir or Garrick or whomever?
They could just actually go to Deep Space Nine. There's a possibility.
They could.
That would be amazing, right?
That would
I
be
was like, how amazing would it be
amazing.
too if like somehow we heard from Cisco? I mean, probably not likely because he's seems to be retired, but it would just be so amazing.
That would be amazing.
Aw,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Best to be Jake. Bring Jake back.
I mean, obviously, that's the
I know.
ultimate.
Yes.
My
Actually, they could do both.
favorite.
They could go to Deep Space Nine and see Jake there. Then win-win. Why not? Right? You
Mhm.
dream big.
Because my first thinking was like they're not going to rebuild the sets at Deep Space Nine. That's way too expensive. But then I was like, wait a minute, these guys have crazy budgets nowadays. Of course they'll do that.
It doesn't have to be
And
the
those
whole
AR
They'll
walls.
reimagine
And
it.
it could be, or it could be digital.
What's that AR wall thing that they used in
Right,
Discovery?
right.
My favorite thing though is if we do see Jake Sisko there, my favorite thing will be that Sirach was able to keep that secret from me the whole time. I'll be like, good job, Sirach, you did it. Way to go.
I keep looking for gaps in the seventh row recording schedule to be like, who is Sirach sneaking off to do something with Star Trek?
That would be awesome.
Then it turns out his daughter is in basketball tournaments. So far it hasn't checked.
Oh yeah, what if he's like totally tricking us and
Yes.
saying, oh yeah, I got to be out of town for a week because my daughter has a basketball tournament. And he says it, and every time I go, he comes back, I'm like, oh, how'd she do? And he's like, oh, she did great. She had a triple-double in one game and they won the championship. He's like saying all this stuff, and then
This
come
is
to
an
find out.
elaborate ruse, though. He's having shirts made.
Well, but he did take us to one of her tournaments one time during a recording.
That was an AR wall.
in Vegas.
That's all part of the Picard budget from Paramount
Oh,
Plus.
so he hired somebody to play his daughter and his
That's the
father.
first stunt.
they even synthesized the terrible
Doubles.
Wi-Fi
Oh my god.
I know.
of Vegas and gave
Oh
us a
my
headache.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And the whistles in the background of the other games that were going on
And all those
simultaneously.
extras, all those 9-year-old
Right.
extras playing basketball.
Right.
yeah, that was just people's kids.
Yeah.
So,
But-
So
He
in that same
could have
article-
taken.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
No, please. No, please.
No, I was gonna say he could have taken us to one of his daughter's basketball games
Right.
and then said the
Mhm.
other ones were.
This is an amazing discussion.
save us, Muhammad.
Well, I
It
was
was
gonna say-
actually Jeffrey Combs.
Oh, poor
Sorry.
Mom.
Okay.
I'll take beating a dead horse for 500, Bob.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. So the article also asked this thing about like what was basically coming next, and if that's really the end for them. It would be interesting if there's unexpected transitions, like What if Picard ends but bleeds into Section 31 or something like that?
I've been totally wondering that. And then
Ooh.
also somewhere in the article, they said like the way it leaves off, they've done so much story building for this amazing universe that we all like know and love, that there could be way more things based off of what happens.
Yeah.
So
That's so cool.
I
Like
can't
7
even
of
wait.
9 could work with Giorgio to be the new Section 31.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
I
think
love
that Section 31, if I had to guess, is going to take place in the original Discovery era, and it's going to have
I did with Mary
Giorgio
Chieffo.
and Ash Tyler, and hopefully Laurel. Exactly was what I was thinking as well. And I don't think, because I feel like if it takes place around the Picard era, then it becomes more of a Picard spinoff. And I think I'm just talking out of my ass. I have no idea. They could do whatever they want, but my impression would be that they want it to be a Discovery spinoff and stay in that original Discovery era. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, they did kind of allude to it picking up where Giorgio was sent, and it did. Discovery also alluded to that we were not done with Laurel either. I got that impression. So I kind of agree with Ryan.
No, Ash
in
Tyler
that.
too, when because he got that pin and that was the end of it. So I
Oh,
was like,
right. Yeah, there was a lot of hints that it would take place
yeah,
during that time.
must have just been deceiving us.
I know.
Which they may do. So everybody in the live chat, let us know, what do you think? What element, person, place, or thing from Deep Space Nine, or things, plural, do you think would be represented in Picard? It might not be a character.
Defiant.
Yeah, Lisa and I went to the same place. I love it.
Oh, right.
Absolutely. That is a really good
Isn't
idea.
First Contact a good segue for the next article too?
Mhm.
That's true.
Or it could be Cisco's other offspring.
Ooh. Tiffany. I should make that up. I don't know.
Molly O'Brien. We love Hanahate.
Did we ever know? I guess we never knew if it was a boy or a girl, did we? For Cisco's
No.
other offspring, yeah.
Oh, I guess I just was seeing boy.
Did we not?
The season 8.
Well, the season 8 said boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Now I
Penny
can't remember.
Johnson Gerald said that she had a girl.
Yeah.
So
She said that, really? I don't remember that.
in an interview, she said that, yeah, I had a daughter, or we had a daughter, or something like that.
Okay, so Chris Gavin says mourn.
More
Pretty
like
solid.
getting so
Very
much screen
possible.
time.
Yes.
Linda Anderegg says Kira Yoshi. Wayner also says mourn. Faith Howell says, I want Jake as a journalist in there somewhere. Right. But
Yeah.
and I remember that's what I thought in the very first episode of Picard, but then I ended up being glad that they didn't, because I was like, that reporter lady that journalist had such a small role, and it was kind of antagonistic.
Yes.
So it
Mhm.
wouldn't fit. We wouldn't have been happy with that. So at some point, and I hope he gets more than one episode. If they do have Jake Sisko come back, I don't want it to be just, he's there in a couple scenes and we go, oh my God, it's Jake Sisko, and then he's gone forever. Like,
Right.
let's
each
get a story,
Embedded
Yeah.
gets
order.
each they just
There's-
kill him, they blow off his
yeah.
legs and his face.
What a combo. What kind of accident caused that? It was bent over.
I saw it on He-Man once, okay?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on from there. And I'm assuming when they said that we have some Voyager elements as well, I'm just assuming that that's Jerry Ryan.
Yeah,
Right.
and people are surmising that it could be like whichever movie where Janeway is like on the view,
Right.
the viewer or whatever,
Oh yeah.
checking in, and in that
Because in
the
Nemesis.
comic book series or the movie, or sorry, is it an IDW comic book or is it a interim novel where there's like that scene with Janeway and Seven talking? I think it's an IDW comic that just came out.
Mm.
So like there's some precedent already.
Okay. Okay. I just 2.5 months.
exciting. I can't
It
even
can't
wait.
come soon enough.
Right?
2.5 months
Except we have
away.
Prodigy in the meantime to hold us over, so we're good for
And
a while.
I'm very happy with that.
Yes.
Actually, that's a great segue. Let's hop over to
Yes.
Prodigy
Yes.
for a moment, shall we?
Prodigy.
It's just every episode just continues to like wow even more.
It's so
Right.
Love it.
good. It's so good.
And this
First-
episode's title is just
Well,
one of
first,
my,
let's hop over to TrekMovie.com. Has an interview with Star Trek Prodigy's Aaron J. Waltke,
Woohoo!
who we love. We love this
Yes.
guy. Somehow, some way,
oh my god,
he
epic
keeps giving
t-shirt.
us the time of day. This thing article is called Star Trek Prodigy's Aaron Waltke on Dal's backstory,
Mhm.
Picard connections, what?
Uh-huh.
Instagram tie-ins, and more. What? Okay, so let's just get to the quotes. Aaron Waltke says, well, first question is, Dal's history is very interesting and complex. How was it decided that he'd be an augment? Aaron Waltke says, it is complex because I think if you zoom out 30,000 feet, the first 10 episodes we're learning about the idealized version of Star Trek, of Starfleet and the Federation, what it represents, its ideals, its beliefs. And I think the second 10 are very much diving into the complexities of Star Trek. Like, how do you put those beliefs or ideals or rules into practice in a way that still upholds the basic tenets of what Starfleet or what Star Trek is? Okay, that's fun.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's this screenshot that's going around that Jorg on Twitter shared where he blew up the okay, when they say like Dal is a hybrid between like
Pulling it up right here.
humans and 26 other species. So there's this Q and people are like, wait a minute, hold the phone. Is he part Q? So dying to know. And
He's a
also,
good
I
follow.
totally never, he's such a great follow. I never noticed that in hiding Q, there's a Q on the picnic basket, which is like totally hilarious.
Right here.
Or like the catering cart underneath. Oh, yeah, that's the Q from. So I'm so fascinated by this.
Oh, there's a Q right there too.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a Q there, Q there,
Any relation to
obviously.
Junior?
Q there.
It's so cool. I just love thinking about this
From the
stuff.
continuum.
Wow, good stuff. Who is Jorg?
He just posts a lot of like in-depth analyses of
Yeah.
every episode where he has screenshots and zooms in and then has like canon connections for them. He's a fun follow. Just
He's
in
a
general.
force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
And
Nice.
he's on all the socials. He's on Twitter. He's even on Mastodon. He's on all these different things.
Oh, and like the things he finds, because like
Yeah.
it's one thing to like do an enhance, but it's another to be like, this thing in the way background is something I saw like in one of the other 900 episodes and movies. It's just amazing.
Mhm.
It's so cool. I love when he does like furniture he'll do like props that are reused in different episodes of different series. It's so cool. This was such a good catch.
Totally.
Okay, so sorry, I'm just looking at this fun article here. I'm like skipping ahead.
So Rose Kirby asked how many episodes of Prodigy in total. So this week is going to be, is it
16
or 16? And that's out of 20 episodes for season 1.
Yeah.
And then 20
Mhm.
episodes for season 2 somewhere.
Basically, the last episode of Prodigy will be the last Thursday of this year. I think that's like December 30th or something like that. Maybe 29th, December 29th. Okay, so Waltke says, we've seen in Deep Space Nine how augments are treated, specifically in Dr. Bashir, I presume, and statistical probabilities, where they're kind of treated as second-class citizens, and they outright state it's because the authorities are afraid. You might get a Julian Bashir, but you might also get another Khan, you see. Then we've got these great pictures of the
Awesome.
Romulan here, another Romulan there.
I like those Romulans. They were kind
I
of cool.
love it. Yes.
And Bonnie voiced one.
Oh,
So the other thing that I just have to mention is like this episode was so exquisite in its biology information and storyline, things in part to Muhammad Noor.
Oh yes, please do tell us more.
And then also, I mean, it's just so amazing of a way to introduce children to like genetics and genetic manipulation and medical ethics in like a medical ethics way that I've never seen in any sort of like child media before. And it really picks up on that really cool storyline, obviously, of the augments from Deep Space Nine. And I just loved Rock Talk's quote at the end where she's like, science rules and science needs rules. It was just wonderful. And how cool for children to first hear like adenine, thymine, guanine, like all of that, like those words that when they hear them in biology class, like years later, they can recognize them. It was just amazing. And also I love things when they're subdermal implants. I think that's just such a cool thing to think about. So just, I loved it all the way around.
Yeah. And imprinting ethics on future doctors.
Yes, medical ethics is just so important. Right. You know, kids are going to watch this and think about it and like internalize it. Just it like really sets off the imagination and like why that couldn't be good, or it just just wonderful. I love this show so much.
So just so that message in there too, just you're perfect the way you are. You don't need to be changed. I mean, that's huge in so many respects.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah. And then I'm just oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I always find myself wanting more. When it ended, I was like, wait a minute, that can't be the end. That can't be the end.
Like not looking at the clock once. And then watching it again. It's just so good. Oh my gosh.
This half season in particular have been really good about like really captivating endings that are like, wait, what? And then like and it ends. And like, wait, I want to know more about this.
Yeah. No, I had a feeling there was something up with
Essentia.
Yeah, well, halfway through the episode, I was like, wait a minute, she is very attached to the one dude.
If you go back to the previous episode, not the one that just not the one we just saw, but the one before it, there's a scene where it shows Essentia and then it very abruptly transitions over to Gwen, and you can see like the similarity in their features, like, oh, because I saw that after.
So cool.
Good hints when you go back and rewatch.
And I'm so excited for like this week's episode, which they've announced is called Preludes, because like I love preludes. I love the music preludes. I love like backstories. I love anything that preludes could possibly mean that this episode is like about. I just can't even wait. Oh, so good.
Yes, and I was getting lost on the music of Prelude. I don't know what that is.
Prelude is also like Chopin wrote like a ton of preludes. They're beautiful.
Oh yeah, great vodka too.
Yeah, preludes have been featured in Next Generation because obviously they're like public domain, and prelude obviously also means like before what you're watching. Oh, I can't even wait. But they're just like beautiful and sort of like I can't think of the word. Like reflective.
That's okay.
Like
I'm thinking about vodka now.
For reflection. But it's
I haven't had vodka in a long time. I don't really like the taste of vodka. I know some people love it, but speaking of which, real quick, right before we went live, I was having a meeting with an old friend, catching up, name of D.W. McCann. Melissa, you might remember him. He was in Cosmos a few years back with Mr. Aaron Eisenberg and yourself. And we were just kind of catching up, and he's big on voiceover. And I was like, oh, yeah, do you watch any Star Trek? He says, oh, yeah, a friend of mine, Bonnie, does the voice of the ship's computer on one of the shows. And I was like, hey, he's like, do you know her? I was like, of course. So that was a fun little thing. Shout out to D.W. McCann and his great voiceover work. Let's finish up on this.
Interviewed Jamila Jamil today.
Oh, that's nice.
Essentia. We can't wait to read.
Yeah.
John, can you let us know when that article will be out so we can look for it?
Not that I don't have you set on all first alerts on all social media, but yeah.
And you're the only one that she has on first alerts, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's finish this Trek Core article because there's some really good stuff here. I'm not saying I was looking ahead, but I looked ahead. So the question Trek Core poses is, the Romulan soldiers chasing the kids in Masquerade carry weapons right out of Star Trek Picard's first season. Good eye. How close is the Prodigy writing team following where things are in comparison to the Picard backstory? The destruction of Romulus, the devastation on Mars, the ban on synthetics, and all that stuff. Aaron replies, you hit the nail right on the head, because there are things coming up in canon that we can't ignore. You know, we're at a place in the timeline canonically where there are rogue factions within the Romulan Tal Shiar that have a mandate to find a way to hijack Starfleet systems and turn their AI against themselves. Whether through their secret channels or monitoring subspace channels or transmissions, when they hear about the living construct, that there's a device that can turn Starfleet against itself, they're going to be very interested in that technology. So we have some visual cues to that. This sort of rogue faction has some of the gear from Picard, just to imply that, yeah, it's happening and it's going to happen. And this is the first kind of hint to that. And even without Dal's command codes, who knows what kind of information they were able to garner from scanning the protostar. And who knows how that will tie into the events of what eventually happens in 2385. 2385 is when Picard takes place, right? Season 1.
I think
This guy, I swear, Aaron Walke is like a freaking encyclopedia
yes.
that he could just rattle all this stuff
2385.
off. I caught myself
It's
getting
crazy.
lost while I was reading this out loud because I was
I know.
analyzing what he said in the previous sentence. And I was like,
He's
Okay,
amazing.
I'm like-
this guy's too
It's
good.
amazing.
I'm like, let me get my highlighter and some
Yes.
like a pen and paper. But also like it's alluded to in this week's Star Trek logs that Janeway is like narrating again. This week. It just came out today. So that's on Instagram at Star Trek logs.
Oh, that's cool. So check that out at Star Trek logs on
Mhm.
Instagram. Great stuff there.
That Aaron
And that is
Walke
canon.
writes. Yeah.
And it is canon.
And Kate Mulgrew narrates. It's awesome.
Can you give us your Kate Mulgrew impression, please?
I don't have one. I wish. She's awesome.
Garrett was a
Muhammad.
fun one. I can't do it, but Garrett is a fun one.
He does do a fun one.
Okay. So I think that's the good stuff there.
Mhm.
So Anne-Marie, you were saying that I'm checking the Jonathan Frakes and directing Star Trek 4. You're saying that this was kind of just
Well,
brought
it's-
back up since the
Now
last
that
few.
since like New York Comic Con when he and Patrick Stewart were saying this, it's kind of been brought up in interviews with him ever since because it'd be awesome and fun.
So this is also from
I
screenrant.com.
mean, he didn't
Timothy
mention the part
McClelland.
about reaching out to J.J. Abrams, but I feel like people always say that. So
Mhm. Okay, so Jonathan Frakes reached out to J.J. Abrams about directing Star Trek 4. So here's the question to all of you at home. Would you like Jonathan Frakes to direct the next J.J. Universe Kelvin movie, Star Trek 4, or as those of us that know math call it, Star Trek 14? Would you like him to direct it or somebody new? Let us know your thoughts, because I would love to see Jonathan Frakes direct it, because I loved when he directed First Contact. I still think that's my favorite movie
Of all or of the Star Trek movies?
of all the Star Trek movies. Actually, I'm
Oh.
wearing the very first JJ 2009
Mhm.
Star Trek movie shirt. So,
Oh.
boy, what a
did
coincidence.
you get that for being in it?
No, what I got for being in it was a paycheck and a kick in the butt and a lot
some
of
meals?
NDAs. A lot of
And some
NDAs.
meals?
Yeah. Yeah. Copy, credit, and meal. That's what they say in this town when they don't want to pay you. They're like, compensation,
Mhm.
copy, credit, and meal. And you're like, oh, cool. Let me pay my rent with copy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You-
and sometimes you don't even get the copy.
Hmm.
It's so
Yeah.
frustrating.
And
Search.
sometimes you don't even want the copy.
Well,
What was
be
the
honest.
year that you filmed? I mean, I know it came out in 2009, but wait, what was the year that you filmed?
Question.
It was 2007 or 8. I don't remember exactly when.
Okay. Just curious how long
When did the
process is.
film come out? I believe it was like a December movie, wasn't it?
Oh, what time
I
of
feel
year? I
like
don't
it was a
remember.
Christmas one.
Maybe.
So then it was probably 2008.
Okay.
When we shot.
I went with my dad. We like going to Star Trek movies together.
Aw.
And it was at Paramount Stages, but not Paramount Studios in Hollywood. It was in Downey, California. So that's further south,
Oh.
if I remember correctly.
Never heard of Downey, aside from like the fabric
No.
softener.
That was G.I. Joe. Never mind. This was at Paramount, I believe. I don't remember. It was very early in the morning, and my brain does not work early in the morning, especially not 14 years ago. I only remember sports things from 14 years ago. Anyway.
Back of the Head says it came out in summer in 2009.
Oh, so 2007 or 8 was when it would have been shot.
Well, here's the one. Obviously, I love when Jonathan Frakes directs, but like, because it's movies, and that's how we can like really get. That's how we get ya, like getting new people into the fan base in some ways. Like I wouldn't be opposed to like a big mainstream name directing who will like get people in to watch it who are new.
It's a good point. When I did my Star Trek class at Duke, and I polled people what Star Trek they'd seen, by far of the ones who'd seen Star Trek, by far most of the ones who'd seen it had seen the J.J. Abrams movies. You know, there was like one person had seen Enterprise, one had seen Next Generation, one had seen original series, but like a lot of them had seen the J.J. Abrams movies, and that was it.
But
So
do you think that since J.J. Abrams' name would be attached, that would be another avenue in if you incorporated Frakes into the directing as well? Because J.J. Abrams is a huge name in and of itself, and is a huge name by himself. So he, maybe that's a good way to marry the TV and the movies.
Yeah, it's not either or. That's true. Yeah, it can be J.J. Abrams and Jonathan Frakes. Like,
right.
One's creator and one's the director. So that seems completely fair.
And he's got so many directing credits under his belt, not just for Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm all in.
Yeah, I just wish that we hadn't gotten all that bad news. I mean, that the movie just keeps getting pushed off and pushed off and pushed off and pushed off forever, and it makes people worry that it's never going to happen. It feels like it's not a priority. It just feels like there's not a very strong likelihood that it's going to happen, it seems.
Do you think eventually when it does come out, it won't be 4, it'll just be new Star Trek, kind of like the 2009 movie wasn't called 11? I wonder if it'll just be like Star Trek 2030 or whatever.
It's very possible. I think that they're just going to be like, okay, never mind, new crew, new movie, new thing. Here's a Discovery movie, or here's a Prodigy movie. I think they might do an animated movie next. And then it wouldn't be like 14 or 15. It would just be like Star Trek Prodigy.
I could totally see
unknown planet, whatever it's called.
Yeah. And Hagemans are talking about a movie too. Good. I don't know where I read it, but I did read it.
Yeah, I can't remember can't remember if it was the Hagemans or Aaron Waltke, but somebody said it to us when we were reviewing a Prodigy episode. One of them said that I think it was probably the Hagemans. Yeah.
Well, especially for kids, it's just like, and it's animated.
Great fit.
It's such a great fit. It's such a profit boost. Gets people watching that show.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Back of the Head says, summer 2009. Thank you for that. Back of the Head. Chuck A says Mohammed Noor science advisor is needed for the next film.
Ooh, I'm in.
Yeah, because those JJ movies need a little help.
Totally in.
It seems. Mohammed, what were your thoughts on the JJ Abrams Klingons? Remember what they look like?
I have to think about it now. It's been a while since I've seen one.
Oh,
Which
really?
movie? This was from the second movie, I guess, right? From Into Darkness. I don't remember.
Yes. Yes.
I don't really remember them actually that well. I mean, I remember there were Klingons because I remember that's where Khan, when he was still under his assumed name, had gone
Right.
to Kronos, but I don't actually remember what the Klingons looked like or anything about them.
Okay, I'll
They were
pull them up
cool
right
and
now.
scary.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
scary and cool looking.
And scary and cool.
and cool and scary.
So here is what they look like.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like their jewelry.
They look a little bit like the
Discovery.
Chancellor Gorkon from Star Trek 6.
And a
Right.
little bit
Oh.
Discovery-ish.
A little
Well,
Discovery. I feels like a meld of Discovery and 90s
Yep.
Klingons.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just asking you, Mohammed, because I wasn't sure if you had any thoughts on that, where you'd be like, there's no way that they would look like, evolutionarily speaking. There's just no chance in hell, and I'm against it.
Evolution makes enough crazy stuff that honestly that's rarely an issue. Like you can pretty much
Good
put
point.
whatever in there. It's possible. Yeah.
Mhm.
Natural selection
Okay.
finds a way.
Well, finishing up on Prodigy here, we've got this article from trekmovie.com, which is get your first look at Preludes, which Anne-Marie was talking about.
I just love the idea of preludes.
Like Prelude to a
Episode
Kiss.
16.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
love running off preludes. They're just beautiful.
Was it Meg Ryan
And
and
look
Alec
at
Baldwin?
check out this like that first paragraph, which is really interesting / surprising. Like check out how many people it's written by. Basically the
Oh, wow.
entire Prodigy
Yeah,
writers room.
It is. It's the writer's room. It's like 9 people or something like that.
Wow.
Written by Kevin and Dan Hageman, Julie Benson, Shauna Benson, Lisa Schultz-Boyd, Nikhil S. Jayaram, Deandra Pendleton Thompson, Chad Quant, and Aaron J. Waltke.
Which
Yay.
and I think if this is one of the directors from last week, Variety magazine like named them one of the top 10 animators to watch of the year.
Oh,
Yay.
wow.
This
That's
place is
awesome.
so filled with talent. It's just amazing.
It
Yep.
is.
The synopsis is: a Starfleet admiral digs into the past of the Protostar crew. Meanwhile, the diviner recalls his life's mission. Ooh,
I just want to
right.
know all the minutia too, like which bit each of them wrote. I can't
I love that
wait for
word.
those interviews.
So here is Janeway looking at a pad and thinking about something.
You think she's the admiral, or you think it's going to be what's his name, Jellicoe?
Maybe Jellicoe, hopefully.
Mhm.
Lime Jellicoe.
Wow, look how cool she looks in that second one.
Do you remember that
Yeah.
90s band Green Jelly? Green
Oh.
Jelly or Green Jello? Green Jelly, I think.
I want a mashup with the musical Cats and Jellicoe. Like just Jellicoe Cats.
Yes.
How has no one made that yet?
I don't know.
We've got Dal and Gwyn
Oh, I
talking
love that.
something over.
Should
We've
be
got
nice.
Jankum Hogg saying something and looking at stuff. We've got Gwyn. We've got Murph Turf
It's so
and
cute.
Dal. Looks like Zero. Speaking of cute, Rock Talk in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Rock Talk.
Love Rock Talk.
Well, Rock Talk doesn't feel the same about you. Sorry to say. I'm just kidding. She loves everybody.
I was gonna say that's not Rock Talk. She loves everyone.
Brett Gray
So
doing
cute.
yoga. Or
I
Dal
love
doing
where
yoga, I should
his-
say.
I love where his character is gone and
Yeah.
how far he's come, and yeah, I'm rooting for him.
Yeah. That was funny that in the last episode where he was daydreaming in the beginning of Okana getting sucked out of the ship.
Oh my gosh, that was,
That was so
so good. And I was like, how does he know O'Connor so well with like him flirting with Gwen? Like it was so funny. It was so amazing.
Okana was flirting with Janeway. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The hologram
Oh
Janeway.
my
Yeah.
gosh. When he winked at hologram Janeway and he has an eye patch and you can still tell he's winking. I'm like, this is just the best animation I've ever seen in my life.
Well, he was flirting with Jenkum Pog too. He was just flirting with everyone.
Who wouldn't flirt with Jenkin Pog?
I
Dude,
know.
I have a
he's
crush
so
on
cute.
him. If he was older.
He's so cute. And I love how he refers to himself as Jacob Pog. Well,
Mhm.
Jacob Pog thinks.
Mhm.
Mm.
That actor was really fun in
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine too. He played what's his name? Pimento in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Pimento?
Yeah.
Like in the olive? Or
So, yeah,
the thing
yeah.
in the
that
olive?
was his name.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of pimentos, they're not my favorite, but olive.
Oh,
Oh my god, that was good.
that was
Of course,
good.
that was
Where's
fantastic.
the cowbell?
They're not my favorite, but olive. Okay. John Orchiola, we are gonna get one of your articles up next, but John Orchiola, first you have to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was that pun? How good was that pun on a scale of 1 to 10? And then we'll decide if we want to read your screen rant.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
No, we would never do that because then we
Oh.
would never get a chance to read anything. So where to go? There it is. So our good buddy John Orchiola, who you see in the live chat as Back of the Head, wrote for Screen Rant this article as follows. It says, First Contact is the origin story Star Trek needed.
Yes.
Star Trek First Contact was more than Picard versus the Borg. It was the origin story of Star Trek itself that has only grown more important over time. It continues, the optimistic future of Star Trek needed an origin story, and Star Trek First Contact delivered that and more. Released in 1996 to commemorate the 30th anniversary of Star Trek, First Contact was a critical and box office success that is recognized as the best of the movies. Ooh, nice. Oh, starring the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation. There, I should finish that
that's
sentence
a big
before I get excited.
qualifier.
Big qualifier, right. The A story involves Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, fighting the Borg, but the B story is actually the more important tale because it is the origin of Star Trek itself. As Captain Picard wages war against the Borg, aboard the USS Enterprise E, Commander Will Riker and his crew have to ensure that Zefram Cochrane launches his pivotal warp flight on April 5th, 2063. Cochrane's achievement of mankind's first ever warp flight gets the attention of nearby Vulcans, leading to the first contact that changes everything for the human race and launches us into a future of exploring the stars and founding Starfleet and the United Federation of Planets. This reads like a story, John. This is great.
It's great.
This is
Yeah.
I wish
really
someone
good.
was reading it to me out loud so I could just chill and let my mind go. Gene Roddenberry's hopeful vision of the future was intact when Star Trek, the original series, began in 1966, and Star Trek The Next Generation continued it in the 24th century. But how and why Star Trek's aspirational future actually began was only hinted at until Star Trek First Contact. Did you guys see that? I just went to night mode
Yeah.
just right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Epic movie.
Right when we went from the beginning of Star Trek First Contact, computer goes, all right, time to switch to night mode to be like thematic.
Yeah.
I did love that movie though, man. And like there's so many great lines in it. The line must be drawn here and no further.
Best lines ever.
Yes.
You broke your ship. You broke your little ship, she says.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's
That
the
was
actress's
epic.
name that plays Lily?
Ah,
Alfre Woodard.
Thank you. I was trying to remember it the other day.
I
Good
love
knowledge,
her.
Melissa.
I love her. No, she's one of my favorites, and I'll watch anything with her in it. So, yeah.
no, she
So
did an
how about
amazing
this?
job.
Okay, so and the reason John Orchiola says that we are commemorating this now is because this is on the anniversary. Yesterday was the anniversary of when
It's
this
November.
movie was released. That would have been
November
November.
22nd was the anniversary.
Okay. And that was 1996. So
Oh.
wow, 26 years ago.
So if we're
Yeah.
highlighting that one, we should mention Star Trek 4 was November 26th,
Oh,
1986. So it's all like 10 years earlier than that too. So also had a very an anniversary that just passed as well.
Mhm.
The one with whales. So they should just retitle it that. Like forget the Voyage
One
Home.
with
It's
the
just the one
whales.
with the whales.
Ooh.
It'll be like
Well,
a Friends
And the
episode.
Michelobes.
It's also one with a lot of memorable lines like the nuclear vessels and the
Oh
yeah.
my
Oh,
gosh,
cute.
that was
And hello, computer.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, Bree's
Hello,
epic
computer.
cosplay. Yeah. I quit smoking.
And also one of the best probably for the original series ones. I don't know about the best, but one
so
of the best
good.
for the original series.
I'm all
ones.
about 4 and 6. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
yeah, 4 is my favorite.
I mean, all the even ones from the original series ones were great. 2, 4, and 6. Wrath of Khan, Voyage Home, and Undiscovered Country.
And it did a very good job at giving me an appreciation for whales.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah, I was a wee one, and I was paying attention to the whales and why they need to be saved.
Yeah. Was that supposed to be the Monterey Aquarium? I can't remember. Or was it filmed at the Monterey Aquarium? I think it was San Francisco, which isn't right
so.
there, but I wasn't sure if it was actually supposed to be that, but they just called it
I don't
something
know.
else. Yeah, I'm not sure either.
You're
You're muted.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
muted.
I just read an entire thing from the live chat. Chuck A says the seventh rule should review all of the Star Trek movies. And I agree, that would be a lot of
That
fun,
would be so fun.
but time consuming.
That's what I was about to say. Like, I know you would watch the first, you don't like the long ones. Like, man,
We'll
if you're
watch
doing movies, that's a
scene
commitment.
by scene.
Yeah.
We'll do scene reviews.
But to be fair, episodes nowadays are as long
true.
as movies.
It's true.
So you would just have
Good point.
of them.
Yeah, if you do the most recent season of Stranger Things, they're
I
like,
knew you
they're
were
like
gonna say
longer,
that.
longer than
These guys are
movies.
savages. Well, on the topic of you guys, I forgot. We've got an unboxing to do today too.
What? Oh my
I said, you guys, I
gosh.
forgot.
I
We've
love
got an
this.
unboxing to do today.
I love that gag.
Oh wait.
Ooh. An enveloping.
Is it from Eve?
It's from Eve, England. It just arrived today, and I was going to open it, but then I said, why would I open it and just have this delight to myself? That is so selfish.
Wow.
Share it with us.
Yeah, share it with the world. But before we get to that unboxing, I want to finish our talk on First Contact, since I love that movie so much. Do you guys have some favorite moments? What is the ultimate best moment of First Contact? And everybody in the live chat, I'm assuming you've seen First Contact. Please. What was your favorite moment, or what you thought was the pinnacle of Star Trek in that movie?
I think it's when Zephyr and Cochrane had to go pee.
Leak. I'm not detecting any leak. Don't you guys in the 24th century ever have to pee? Oh, leak.
Leak.
I get it. That's funny.
Aw.
That's my favorite moment too. You're right. And when Barclay's like carrying these coils and like just kind of staring at him, stumbling on himself.
I have two. One is in the cockpit of the spaceship getting ready to launch, and the music is blasting, and there's just something so wonderful and magical about that moment just before liftoff, and I love that moment. And then the second favorite is the First Contact, when the Vulcans and
Yes.
meet the humans, and I always shed a tear at that
Aw.
moment because it's so wonderful. And yeah,
Magic Carpet Ride was the song in that first one.
yeah, I love it. I love that he's just blasting the music. And
I like how they recycled the second one, the one with the Vulcan thing in the Mirror Universe episode of Enterprise.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh,
That was so great.
That was
That was
so
brilliant.
John
And they paid homage
Orchiola
to it in Lower
references-
Decks too.
Yeah.
Episode.
John Orchiola references that in his article,
Oh, yeah.
the Enterprise Mirror Universe, where he murders the Vulcans. Oops.
First contact gone wrong. But you, Anne Marie?
I think it's when you see Ethan Phillips out of makeup in that holodeck
Yes,
moment where
good
they're
knowledge.
like running through and hiding from the Borg. I love those like old timey holodeck.
What about, on that note, what about when Robert Picardo, as the doctor, says, how about an analgesic cream?
Analgesic.
It's so
He's
cute.
like,
Oh my
"Ew."
god, I love it. Oh,
He's a freaking adorable. I love that guy.
Um,
Oh, Chuck A was just saying that. The Doctor from Voyager cameo with Dr. Crusher was great.
mm,
Troy getting drunk was pretty funny too.
mm.
That was
Mayer
pretty
agrees.
funny. Oh.
England Iverson too.
That's funny.
Don't have
Robert
time
Kaiser
to talk
says-
about the time.
Robert Kaiser says, Joel and True to everyone. I just realized I've watched and recorded the Trek show from today for the last hour instead of coming here and joining this live. Oh, well, we're glad you're here now, Robert Kaiser, all the way out in Austria. Welcome.
He was
Sorry
at
you guys
Mission
didn't make the
Chicago.
World Cup this year.
Mhm.
What about Chicago?
Robert Kaiser was at Mission Chicago with us. So we got to see him there.
Sad
Oh.
that we don't have a Mission Seattle.
Bummer.
I'm just glad that creation took the high road about about that.
So much shade in that email.
Yeah.
Did Disney
Matt
write
Boardman-
that email?
Yeah, Matt Boardman says, watch your caboose, dicks. Also says,
Oh,
I
I
love
love
the scene
that.
when Picard opens up the port to show Lily how far she is from Earth. Yeah, he says, New Zealand, the Solomons. You may want to hold your breath. It's a long way down, blah, blah. Montana will be up soon or whatever he says. Oh, Robert Kaiser says, the leak scene is my prime example of good translation to German. I would things always lose translation when gone. Like if anybody speaks a second language, when you are watching something in that language and you're seeing the English subtitles, don't you always say like, that's not what they said. It's totally different than what they're actually saying. Like they take these liberties. They're just rewriting the whole thing, the person that's adding the subtitles.
And sometimes things don't translate. We're like, there's a common insult in Arabic,
Right.
which is basically like, I hope your house breaks. But if I was to say that to you, you'd be like, what? What does that even
Like,
mean?
that's a rude thing to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Right.
guess.
That's the intention, I think.
idioms, like
Or
idioms
like-
are so interesting like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love when,
Like-
but like so cool when somebody knows both languages so well that they can find like an equivalent. I think it happens like quite a bit in French. Like there's something about like ketchup and like tomato puns, and it translates to like lemons and squeeze me or something. Like I know it comes up in a lot of like old French movies, but so super
I don't
interesting.
know that one.
Yeah.
When I go visit my family in France, I'm gonna say something about
Yes.
ketchup and squeezing lemons or something, and they're gonna look at me like
Well,
I need to go back to
the
America.
American version is the ketchup and tomatoes and whatever. Oh, I think it's a Pulp Fiction translation is the famous example. Anyway,
I'm so confused. Okay, let's do an unboxing real quick, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
While we think about more.
what is this? Star Trek and Chill? Just kidding.
I don't know. We'll find out. So here's
favorite
this
beverage?
thing. Ooh, look at that. There's like addresses on it, so I have to hold it
Mm.
sideways.
Oh, yeah.
And how cute is this? That look what's coming out of
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Oh,
You can't
wow.
see it. There's a napkin, an actual
Wales.
Welsh napkin from
Wow.
Wales. I'll just bet. Now, trust me, this is
The
green.
flag.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm guessing the bottom's green.
It's the flag.
Oh,
That's so cute. I love it.
Mm. Oh.
And then there's this.
That was all it was napkin. I was kidding.
Yeah, it's a napkin. Still the thought that counts, and a nice little box.
Yeah,
Smells classy.
Think
Must be from the
edible.
UK.
Oh.
Truffles?
You know, they're classier than we are. And then you open,
Nope, not truffles.
and then there's like a
A
note
card?
that's probably written in very classy writing.
In Welsh?
Yeah, not Welsh. And then there's a little thing with
Yay.
stuff. And then here's an item.
Yes, to keep
Okay.
it safe.
And then here's, I can't really tell what's going on. Oh, look at this. Okay, so there's this.
Oh my
Aw.
gosh.
Oh,
Oh my
patented
gosh. That is
Eve
so cute.
England
That
gingerbread
is
cookie
Awesome.
of a
Aw,
soccer
adorable.
ball.
So cute.
Wow.
And, oh my God, I honestly just want to eat this already right now. Like I just got hungry just looking at this.
Wow.
And a little American soccer player
Oh.
and his little American shorts and
Yeah.
his little American eyes and his little American
can't-
Nike swoosh.
You can't eat it though because they won,
Yeah,
so you
they're
can't
still
break them in
in.
half like our other
I-
cookie
can-
starts breaks in
Can I
half.
eat the ball? Can I eat the
Yeah.
soccer
Yeah,
ball, or
they
is that
play.
like bad luck to eat? If
Oh.
I eat the ball, and how great is it that this arrived within minutes of the USA's victory? I mean,
Yes.
what a celebratory! I should just eat this right now.
See, the ball already went in the net.
It smells really good too. Well, thank you very much,
So
Eve
awesome.
England.
That's
And right now,
so
Eve's like, I'm
cute.
not listening to you. I'm sleeping, you dummies. She's sleeping
Aw.
comfortably in her home that smells like gingerbread, freshly baked.
Oh,
Thank you. So she makes these herself. She's just so uber talented. It's unreal.
mhm.
Anyway, so that's really cool. So you're right. I do have to wait until the USA loses, and since they're going to
Yeah,
win
they
the
can break
world
it.
championship, that means I got to wait another 2 weeks to eat
Right.
this thing.
Mhm.
What a bummer. This episode will not age well, I predict. Anyway.
Well, one can
Uh,
hope.
Everybody at home in the live chat, should you choose to participate, who do you predict will win the World Cup? Question number one, put number one, who will win the World Cup? Number two, who do you want to win the World Cup? That should be pretty.
How about a Star Trek trivia instead?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh?
How about a Star Trek trivia question
Yeah.
instead?
We're not there yet, but we'll definitely do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. We've got okay. So where do you think, Anne Marie? Should we go over to slashfilm.com about Deep Space Nine's Quark is the greatest Star Trek character?
Sure.
Or Star Trek hints at unsettling reunion for LaForge in new miniseries? Or let's just fly through all of these.
Whatever you think.
There's also an interview with
Okay,
Sirach
let's do this
Lofton.
one.
Mm.
But I was like, everybody knows what he's going to say. Everybody that watches this show, like my first thought was I wanted to do the Sirach Lofton interview just because I'm a Sirachophile. But then I'm like, well, we already
Let's just
know
show it on
everything
the
that he's-
screen and tell everybody where to go to read it.
Okay,
Good
Because it's
idea.
pretty good. And I already shared it to the Discord and we need to share it around.
nice.
This is
Oh,
by
the
Adam
virtual
Holmes.
TriCon Discord?
The Seventh Rule. So this is by Adam Holmes of Cinema Blend.
Cinemablend.com.
Friends at Cinema Blend.
Uh-huh. And the title is Star Trek's Sirach Lofton shares thoughts on Lower Decks Deep Space Nine tribute episode, including one key way it makes Shax shine and more. By the way, Adam Holmes, shout out to him. He was really great in our communication. I believe Anne Marie contacted him first. He's really seemed like a really great guy, really cool, very good, very professional. So I'm sure this article is as well. This is on
It's at Mr.
cinemablend.com.
Adam Holmes on Twitter.
At
MR.
Mr. Adam Holmes on Twitter.
So formal.
So they cover obviously Deep Space Nine.
There's a non-appearance mentioned by Ryan Husk in there.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. Oh no,
Ah.
I don't know who that is. It's got a very, very close to my name, but not me.
Close.
I don't know who
Yeah.
that guy is.
I'm missing the T.
Well, that's really cool. So they talk about obviously the Lower Decks episode. Here I'll Trust Nothing, which is great. And Armin and Nana coming back for those. Sorry, everybody. Spoilers. And looks like a nice little paragraph on the 7th rule, which is cool. Very nice of him. Hyperlink to what, our Patreon account. That's freaking amazing. This guy's great. Very nice to us. Talks about Denise Crosby, who starred as Tasha Yard, is joining Sirach and myself for all of her characters' appearances in season 1. That's really nice of him. Great shout outs. Really cool, Adam Holmes. Yeah, we should have started with this.
We got there.
I mean, it's not like we don't already know all this stuff, but it's still fun. I still love it when it's like, even though we see and hear Sirach all the time, it's still cool when he gets interviews and everybody, the rest of the world, gets to see what a great guy he is.
And also articles reach more new people. So that's wonderful.
It is.
That's really
like
awesome.
Everybody
That's
gets
really
to
awesome.
know, to find out like all of the amazing stuff 7th Rule is doing.
So here's a quote from the article from Sirach, and it reads, "The Deep Space Nine episode was a real good homage to the work we did on the show, and I love to see Armin playing Quark, and I love to see Nana bringing back Colonel Kira. I thought the ship looked beautiful in the exterior shots. If I could ask Mike McMahon for one souvenir, it would probably be a cell from that Deep Space Nine animated episode. One of those animation cells. But yes, oh man, that would be cool.
That's
but
awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought they did a fantastic job in paying homage to really great characters. It's a wonderful thing.
So
I don't get this man a cell.
It's a wonderful thing.
What is a cell? What does that mean?
It's like just the one little
like a still.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's they're usually floppy and on clear plasticky type things.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Saran wrap. And so he also says, quote, "One of the things I recently said to a friend of mine in a discussion was seeing Kira's character playing a kind of pal with Shax's character on that episode gave a kind of credibility and legitimacy to Shax's Bajoran roots that I don't think he could have ever gotten from any other kind of storytelling. So that fact."
Wait, who's Sirach's friend?
So that fact that Kira has been in the trenches with him and they fought in the resistance together and she's validating that that's her pal, that made me all the more confident in his claims to his Bajoran ancestry. So it's kind of strange how that played in my heart and how it touched all those strings. Yeah, it's interesting how certain things can make something feel more real to you. And then once he saw, Shax and Kira having their banter, it just kind of made him feel more Bajoran. That's really interesting. It's always fun to see how his mind works. Okay, so
love his discussions.
We're just about out of time, everybody, but go check out babyild.com. I don't know what that stands for, babyild.com, for this article. Let me show you this, which is quite the mystery. Star Trek hints at unsettling reunion for LaForge in new miniseries.
That unsettling reunion.
Yes, this is intense. Booby trap.
What is
Dr.
this?
Leah Bomb's booby trap.
No, what is this article? And what?
It's babyild.com.
Interesting.
See?
What are the sources? I'm so intrigued with this.
And we also have another Screen Rant article, why Geordi lost his visor and got robot eyes. Robot eyes, I guess. And I guess we'll never find out why Deep Space Nine's Quark is the greatest Star Trek character. I think we just know because Armin is the nicest guy ever.
The author said that Quark represents Star Trek by being a strong-willed adult who articulately more articulate than I am, stands up for what he believes in, and he's unwavering in the fundamentals of who he is and what he believes in.
That would be a good set of polls for Star Trek and Chill. Who's the best character in all of Trek?
Yeah.
Could pick a couple.
That would
like,
be
you
a
know,
toughie.
especially like Quark against like Spock or other like big canonical characters. They're like, ooh, that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
So
really fast, I totally forgot
Yes.
on this. Cell is short for celluloid. So that's why they're called
Oh.
animation cells.
I
But,
see.
great. Mohammed, you got a question for us?
I do. This is an Enterprise one, and like
Ooh, Enterprise A, B, C, D, or bloody E.
It's an NX-01 Enterprise.
ooh.
So this is a quick short one. So it's just there's 4 choices to it. The question
Like Anne Marie.
is, come on.
I'm not that quick.
We have multiple mothers
That
who
was
were
quick.
in the live chat here on the show today.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is Malcolm Reed's mother's name? There's 4
Very
choices. A, Diane, B, Madeline, C, Mary, or D, Sherry. I'll read the choices again. A, Diane, B, Madeline, C, Mary, or D, Sherry.
I wish it was sherry just because that's the name of a beverage.
It might
the
be Sherry.
alcoholic variety.
Well, and Sherry's big in the UK. As a
Yeah.
name.
She's like 8 feet tall, I think.
Multiple of those names have been used in the series, so it's not. It's we'll see. Diane,
right.
Madeline, Mary, or Sherry.
So let's talk about
Oh, we have a couple of different
this
answers
week.
in the chat already.
There's a lot of great stuff this week. What premiered just yesterday on the 7th Rule YouTube channel? Well, it was Deep Space Nine Season 7, Episode 21, our review of When It Rains with very special guest, Nana Visitor. So she joins us to
Very
talk about
special.
this amazing Kira episode and these amazing Kira moments. And it kind of felt like a farewell to Nana on the show. I mean, I do feel like we'll have her back again someday, but it felt like, I mean, and same thing with when Armin joins us and when Ira Stephen Bear joins us and when Nana joins us, it feels like it's a farewell. It feels like it's a last call, a final lap with these people, but I'm sure it won't be, but still in case it is, it was
There were
treated as such.
comments that some of the people in the comments were saying it was their favorite episode of 7th Rule ever.
Wow.
I know.
That's
When
saying
people
something
start
too. Good on
saying
good man.
that, yeah, exactly.
It's because I wasn't in that episode. No, I was in every one. They're not escaping. Yeah, I did see some of those comments, and that's really cool. It's because Nana Visitor is just amazing, and Sirach talking with her,
Yes.
Sirach talk.
And
I
then
almost
just,
said
the
that.
combination of those two amazing friends, just getting to see their chemistry, it was just so special. It's really sweet.
So that's available right now on the 7th Rule YouTube channel. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, November 30th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, go over to the Falling Tower YouTube channel. Myself and Mohammed are finishing up the final days of 80s sitcom month. And we are doing our final 80s sitcom. First, we did Family Matters. No, first we did Married with Children.
Yeah.
Then Family Matters, then Family Ties, followed by Perfect Strangers, and this last one is Night Court.
Oh.
Yep. The show's so interesting. Anne Marie squeals about it.
It's fun.
Was that a squeal? That's
I mean, I don't even know. I just remember it being on TV when I was little, and I was so intrigued by
You're a bull, the tall
yes.
guard guy. Yeah.
I mean, the judge, they just all seemed so charismatic. So I can't wait.
Let's see if we agree with you.
Okay.
Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern with actress and producer Kat Guerin. We love her, and she'll be back. Now, also on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, head on over to the 7th Rule YouTube channel to check out our review, myself, Sirach, and Bonnie Gordon, we will be reviewing episode 16 of Star Trek Prodigy. I'm sure it's going to be a good one. And even if it isn't, we're going to love it anyway. Because,
It'll be good.
to be honest,
It'll be
great.
objectively good, I'm sure.
How can they have 15 straight good episodes and then the 16th one isn't? Let's get serious. Right. It's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
Now, right here on this channel on Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, live, we will have Star Trek and Chill, starring Dr. Muhammad Noor.
No, I don't come on that show.
Muhammad is
I like watching
Fridays.
It though.
He's like, Friday is rest day. Leave me alone.
No, actually, Friday at the North Carolina Natural Science, there's a showing of Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, and then there's like a Q&A about science that I'm going to be doing that's opposite Chill. So that's where I'll be.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you're in Raleigh, North Carolina,
Italian
you can come
food.
do that. That's right. I like that. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No, not at all.
That is so cool.
Then on Sunday at what do we call it? Deep Space 9 a.m. Deep Space 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's Deep Space noon Eastern time. Check out the Seventh Rule YouTube channel because we will have our season 7 review special of Deep Space Nine. It's Deep Space Nine season 7 review special. We're not done with Deep Space Nine. It's not over. We are going to keep reviewing till the cows come home. And by the cows come home, I mean, like a couple years or something. And that's it. And then, on Monday, you guys, Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel. It's going to get crazy because we will release our review, the full review, right, of Deep Space Nine Season 7, Episode 22, Tacking into the Wind with Kitty Swink, who plays that Vorta. Very cool. We've been waiting forever to have Kitty on the show. And basically, we had to wait until like the 4th to last episode of Deep Space Nine when she comes on as that awesome Vorta. She also played a Bajorn in like season 2 or 3 or something like that. I forgot her name. Starts with an R, Renarin or something.
Was it Lou Warren?
Lou Warren, thank you. Very good.
Good knowledge again.
Wow, magic.
Lisa's on it. You know your Deep Space Nine.
I do.
Very good. That's it. What is the answer to our trivia question, Mohammed? Is it Sherry?
So the chat was back in. Yeah, so the 4 choices were, again, I'll read them off again. Diane, A, B, Madeline, C, Mary, or D, Sherry. In the chat, it seemed like people were split between Madeline and Mary. The correct answer was Mary, or C.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, the Madeline was his sister, so that was the tricky thing.
Oh.
So there was a Madeline, but it wasn't the mom.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, and Sherry was like there's a possibility of like a relative to the name Sherry. Diana just picked as like that's a common British name. Just stuck it in there.
Like princess.
Yeah, like Princess Diana.
Oh, Diana.
His
Still
grandparents
close
love the
enough.
Cheers rerun.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So there's Diana is a song from like the 50s, if I remember correctly, right? It goes like Diana. There's like something like that. And then there's Sherry. I think that's also like 50s.
Should have been gone. You remember that song? The Oh Sherry, our love holds on, holds on. You remember that? You know, it's from the 70s, I think. Where it starts with like should have been gone, knowing how I made you feel. I should have been gone. And then the chorus line. Yeah,
I love that we got a serenade.
So what I'm thinking is we've got a Sherry, we've got a Diana. What were the other two? Mary, and what's the third one? Or the fourth?
Madeline.
Okay, so Mary and Madeline. And I don't know if there's songs called Mary or Madeline. Probably a Mary one, but I can't imagine a Madeline.
Well, Proud Mary, right? If you go to CCR.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Nailed it. Dave Gregory calls that one out. Proud Mary. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Madeline.
wonder if the cartoon Madeline, well, that's Madeline, but has a song about
The little
Madeline.
pig.
No, she's a little French girl.
Oh, French girl. That's right. That's right. what was it? There was like 12 little girls in 2 straight lines, and the
Yes.
youngest
Yeah.
one was Madeline. Yeah.
Yeah, and she gets her
Oh, I
appendix
guess that was
out.
a
So good.
song.
Yeah. What was the
Well,
pig one?
when we
I can't remember
start
the pig
singing terribly,
Peppa?
everybody, that means it's time for us to
That's not what I
go.
was thinking.
Yeah.
Of. Yeah, that's right.
And everybody's like, yeah, please, we gotta roll out too. If you know a Madeline song, let us know. Madeline. Anyway,
Matt Boardman says that the song I was singing was "Oh Sherry" by Steve Perry.
Oh.
oh, right. Of Journey. Good knowledge, guys.
And
Matt
great
Yeah, that's a
cover,
good song.
Mohammed.
Good song. Great
And there's
job, guys.
falsetto in that song, right? I don't know.
I don't remember.
So
Anyway.
what I did was I Googled Madeline songs, and they're, oh no, these are just songs by a band called Madeline. But then one of their songs is called I'm Madeline. So that's something.
Okay.
There's also someone named Rich Mullins has a song called Madeline's Song. A band called INJI has a song called Madeline. Adam Young sings Madeline Island. The guy who sings your name over and over has a song called the Madeline Song. Oh, there's all kinds of very fun and popular songs about Madeline. Anyway, Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel, where can everybody find you online, please?
Twitter at Anne-Marie Siegel1.
She also frequents, you guys, the Seventh Rule in the comments and in the Facebook group of the Seventh Rule and in the Seventh Rule Discord. But how do I get on the Seventh Rule
Those
Discord?
are my cons.
Just donate $1 to the Patreon or the Indiegogo, and you can hop in that group and see all of Anne-Marie's funny quips.
Or donate big to be an associate producer, and you can like come chat with Anne-Marie all the time.
Spendy, as Muhammad called it. Muhammad and Melissa are also both in those groups. So if you guys want to hang out with these cool cats, you know where to find them. Melissa, where else can they find you?
On pretty much all social media, almost all, well, kind of the big ones, at Melissa Longo, not TikTok, at Melissa Longo. And then also the Introverted Republic is where Walking Art Made by Melissa is the new home for. And there is a sale coming up this weekend, a holiday sale, our first, and international shipping will open up this weekend too.
That's very exciting.
Positive that's going to happen this weekend.
I really want to eat this gingerbread cookie. It smells so good.
Smells so good.
What about you, Muhammad? Where can people find you online?
I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and I guess Mastodon too, as Mafnoor, M-A-F like Frank, N like November, O-O-R, or on YouTube as Biotrekkie, B-I-O-T-R-E-K-K-I-E.
I also have an N like November in my Twitter handle, Ryan TG Husk, at Ryan TG Husk. You can also find me on the Seventh Rule, Virtual TrekCon, and Falling Tower right here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or maybe even Instagram. I don't know, whatever. Seventh Rule's on Instagram. Go check that out. We're very active on Instagram. So that's about it. Thanks very much, Kathy D, Robert Kaiser, Rob Marr, Chuck A, Glenn Iverson, Chris Gavin, War Dogheim, Linda Anderegg, and all. Glenn Iverson as well, Scott Jensen the 13th, and everybody else. One Trek fan, welcome. She said something really nice to us earlier.
And don't forget, before you log off, to hit the like and subscribe.
For real, guys, please make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. If you are listening in, give us 5 stars and a nice review if you have time. Even if you just say like, this was great. Or you could even say like, I like eating cereal, and be like, they're great, or whatever you want.
I
Nobody
like
cares.
gingerbread cookies from the UK.
All right. Thanks very much, everybody. And when you want to talk about gingerbread cookies and soccer, put it on the main viewer.